the first day of trading for Nutanix. Shares of the software company skyrocketed more than 130%, making it the best debut of the year. Tech IPOs have been few and far between this year. Remember, Nutanix had filed to go public in December of last year. Bloomberg's IPO reporter Alex Barinka sat down with CEO Dheeraj Pandey and asked him about the decision to list.
Ideally, we'd have gone out in January, but the market was not ready. The oil crisis happened. And this was probably the first time that we could have it. We could have gone out in summers, but we said, look, the company is ripe, the scale is there. We want to really go deeper into the Global 2000. They want to see open books. And being public is one way of doing that.
So you priced above a share price range that you had increased in the course of the roadshow. The stock today is trading up. How are you feeling about how it's trading on your debut day?
Somewhat sanguine, because to me what matters is what happens in the next 6 months and 12 months and probably 18, 24 months. I'm just a long-term guy that way. It's like, a baby was born and I'm not interested in the height and the weight, and more importantly, is the baby healthy?
We have seen some of these offerings that preceded you. I'm talking the Twilios, the Acacias of the world, trade, more than 200% higher than their listing price. Is there some kind of embedded concern about living up to your valuation post-IPO day?
One thing I'm confident about is that the market in the short term is a voting machine, but in the long term is a weighing machine. So the substance of this company will come out in the longer term. And what happens in the short term and how the voters vote based on the, this news or that news and so on. Time actually takes care of that.
Speaking of substance of the company, you all were one of the early movers in this hyper-converged space. You saw sales increase more than 300% back in 2014, 90% in 2015, 84% in your last fiscal year. What are you going to do to continue boosting that number? As we were hearing in the terms of the roadshow, investors were liking that growth.
Yeah, I think the key of all this is the character of the product, character of the customer service, repeat business from existing customers, because once we land, the whole goal is to expand, and that's where the depth of the relationship with the customer really comes. And when we have such deep with customers, partners like it as well. So just keep doing the basics right. It's like, how do you stay healthy as a body? You go run, you avoid sugar, do all sorts of things like that. Definitely we are doing something highly differentiated, because it's hard to do what we do, really building software and extracting all the value out of hardware and putting it in pure software. But I think it's about going and charming them and having a net promoter score the way we've talked about. Our customers love us for what we do.
Customers may love you, that might boost revenue, but these days investors have really wanted to see profitability. You haven't yet been profitable. You're still posting net losses. What are you working toward to get there? How long can investors expect that to take?
Yeah, so fiscal 16 that ended in July, we were operating cash flow positive. And there is a certain thing about billings and revenue that actually creates a delta for us, because we defer enough for OEM business and such, and that only gets recognized over time. So in terms of operating profitability, it doesn't show today. But every year we're going and putting more guardrails so that we grow, but with enough guardrails in mind.
What do you mean by guardrails?
Guardrails like, put some internal targets for free cash flow positive, and then put some internal guardrails for operating profitability and so on. So, we've not been a company that has just grown at all costs, and you can see that from the past as well, and we hope to actually keep doing more of this going forward as well.
An impediment to growth has got to be competition. As we've talked about, you were one of the first in the space. We're seeing the biggest players, even the Ciscos of the world, kind of start to creep in. How do you continue to differentiate what you're doing so that you are continuing to gain customers?
Yeah, the key thing here is that Ciscos of the world don't have the full stack. When I say the full stack, it's the virtualization software, it's the storage software, it's the operations management software. All that is actually required to build what people are calling the enterprise cloud. So a lot of the hardware companies, they're actually saying we'll use some of VMware and put something in there and really go and build that. What we are saying is that you have to have the entire stack itself. So none of the server companies actually have that.